I've got a date with Star Wars this evening.
Oh, amazing.
So,
What's Star Wars?
The one's coming out at midnight.
Holy fuckface, it's December 15th already? That was the most crazy thing that has ever happened.
So-
Can we go see Star Wars? What up, vlog? Lando is here now, guest starring here in Chattanooga. Flew into Atlanta this morning on a 6 a.m. flight, did a bunch of meetings with one of our clients. Mickey and I did a 2-hour drive, did a bunch of calls, and then we were at the Westin, the new fancy hotel here in Chattanooga for a bunch of meetings, and the Chattanooga holiday party is tonight. Yep. I'm doing a podcast.
Okay.
What up, what up?
see,
Welcome.
How you doing? Good, man. How are you? Voice, bro. Like, I don't think people get it. Like, what, like, it's just, like, it's oxygen. It's all encompassing. I want to interact with, we all love interacting with a computer. The passive nature of the consumption, which means it equates into time savings, and my belief that time is the #1 variable asset that we continue to gravitate towards even more than money, probably other than health, the most important thing to us. And the fact that the voice, written, and video consumption in our society are the 3 pillars of how we consume content. The consumer entrepreneurs that I want to spend time with are people developing on top of voice platforms, period, end of story. One of our guys from over there went into an innovation role.
Yep. And then
You built an event around that theme.
yes. So
Called If You're in Innovation Roles, Come see Gary Vee.
Corporate innovation roles. Yeah.
How are you doing?
Hey man, how are you?
I'm good, man.
well?
I'm in real estate in this area.
Okay.
I own a real estate company and also do development. And so what I bring is something completely different, which is the design. It's just different than what Chattanooga's used to. And so I'm hitting that wall, like,
The conservative nature of it?
yeah, hardcore. As far as, like, for example, roof lines in general. Like, my roofs do this versus this. And so that's hard for them to grasp that.
Well, that's a far more interesting conversation. So I'll go maybe in a different direction that you may not want to hear. One of my biggest theses is whenever you fight the market, you lose. Pushing is imperative, right? But if you push to a place that doesn't map the practicality, wants, and needs, and you create too much friction, what I think I've done really well in my career, and when I look at other things and why I admire Amazon or others, is it's all about, by the way, back to Mickey, I'll appease you here, innovation, things of that nature. There's a level of practicality that has to be part of it. Otherwise, you're just too far ahead of it. So I think you have a timing/appetite friction. One thing I would definitely not do is try to convince people. So if you're hitting a wall and they're selling, I would profile the no's and the yeses and spend a lot more time with people that look the part of yeses. I'd rather convince Jesse, open-mindedness, grew up in Jersey, East Coast flavor. Okay, let me see if I can get him to spend a little bit more than he wanted to come into this thing that he's open to, than going to somebody who's super conservative, may have the finances, but literally has made a religious line in the sand of like, this funky, junky stuff. I don't, give me, you know what, I'm projecting a little here, but I think the key when you're doing something new is 2 things. One, not being so far out that it's not consumable. And I don't sense that that's necessarily it. 2, everybody wastes time selling the unsellable.
And it's not profit driven, so that's my problem.
It's artistic driven.
Yeah, and
That scares me. That scares me.
Can you go down the rabbit trail where it would work?
It would work if, here's how things like this theoretically tend to work. I would lose a lot of money on the most alpha influencer in this market to take one. I'd like give one of these historic families that live in the hills one of the houses.
Yeah.
To, that's where you see it happen is when a tastemaker on a macro or a micro goes on to the other side.
Okay.
When hip hop, when I'm just gonna use music, when P. Diddy and Biggie started talking about lifestyle and it's about champagne and like living good, hip hop changed from who's the toughest to who's the richest. And it changed the whole genre, but it needed to be somebody who was that popular to change the conversation. Nick, I'm excited about this. I wanna make this fucking.
Yeah, I'm fired up.
What should we do? Like, it's kind of like, we're thinking like a brand and a sales. Obviously, it's the restaurant thing with every 90, not a, with a, in Chattanooga every 90 days for the group that came in during that time. Like if you come in, right? And like, so what's this packaged dollar thing that we can build a well-oiled machine? Like, that he can go find out 3 more of him. How do we just do it? Because it's there. Like if I make a for the 100-mile radius of this location and we pound it, we will sell. Guys, we have, think about this from business terms. You know your P&L. Every, like next year, 50 days in the year, we will have 7 to 14 people in our office paying the head for education. Yeah. Let's do it.
Flint, how are you, sir?
All right, Nathan.
It is
Happy
an honor.
holidays. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
If you're ever in Chattanooga, tell him.
Come to Tucson's Kitchen.
I don't even know. I met 1 second and I'm like, let's just give him a shout out. I feel it. It's awesome, man. Sometimes I just get in the mood to like give people love. Like, he's just a good dude. It's an amazing spot. Shit, you guys got real wine.
Yeah, I know, that's
Got it from New York.
I can see it. Dude, do you know how sick this wine is? Who drinks Pinot Noir here? Anybody? You're gonna freak your shit. This is big. I'm so pumped right now. This is what I want to say for all of us from youngest to oldest. A, everybody here is gonna live a lot longer than they think. Let's project technology. You know, look, you can get hit by a bus in an hour, I get it, but a lot longer than we think. This is the biggest, the internet's maturity, which is what we're living in right now, is the biggest culture shift to our society since the printing press. So it's very hard for us to actually grapple with what we're going through right now because it's so much bigger than anything we can point to. So we have no reference, but it's happening and it's an incredible era and I'm excited about it. And I think if we take the offense out of it, you know, it's funny. We default into demonizing technology. We think writing a note is some miraculous feat, but sending a text is kids don't talk to each other. We are missing the point of the evolution of communication and the power of it. And I've never been more optimistic. And I think in a micro, everybody's businesses and ambitions to raise money for nonprofits or get a mayor elected in this town or whatever the hell you care about, it's all gonna happen here. And this is it. You gotta wrap your head around it. And becoming a communicator on this device is not about a luxury, it's a necessity over the next decade. And I highly encourage all of you to get a hell of a lot more serious about it. I think to the point of net neutrality, I think there's a lot of things that people don't understand about the issue. I don't want a toll booth. But let me give you an example. Who has Verizon here? Anybody? Great. Verizon. Verizon owns Yahoo. Net neutrality is just like a news headline you're hearing about until a year from now. Yahoo is free and Google is $25 a month. It's interesting. You know, there's a lot that happens now with if they let the service providers become the toll booth. But I'm a big believer in capitalism. Okay, so Comcast does this and Schmomcast does that. Meanwhile, Google shoots a balloon in the air and provides us all service for free and no net neutrality issues. So I think we, a lot of times, you know, remember when Microsoft had to be regulated for being a monopoly? Remember when Walmart was too big? Like, we're very bad at understanding the greatness of actual macro capitalism and entrepreneurship. There's always innovation because people are incentivized by the openness of the upside. I think we have a real shot to do something that everybody will talk about forever. I really believe that. I'm being dead serious. And I think that I aspire to that, you know? And so I'm really excited. It's a really good feeling. I really, really love the way you guys love each other. And I think that foundation gives this office unbelievable upside. I've been thinking a lot more about the long-term aspect of this office and what we're up to here. And I really want to go deep. I really do. I really want to build a big, successful, impactful, happy place. And I think when I look around, it became very obvious to me that we, you know, I often use the analogy of like, okay, this is a nice building and this is, you know, a brand new nice building, but the thing that makes this stick is the steel that's behind that column that we'll never think about, and the concrete that it's poured into. The foundation's the fucking game. And within a company that does what we do, obviously you guys know I'm disproportionately confident that I'll know where to take us with our products and services. That's something I was gifted with. We will never ever lose that game. I think the thing that will make us ultimately special is empathy. I will pound empathy down the throat of this company next year for you to be empathetic to each other, to each other's disciplines, to what might be happening at home or what's going on with that client, or the history of how you got there, why you got transferred on a team. I'm sold that this office deploys the prime example of empathy across the board. All right, vlog. It's been a great time. Gonna spend some time with the Chattanooga crew. Happy holidays to you guys. Leave in the comments a story about a holiday party in your company.